And Altona can come away. Good header by Pasevsky. And up the line there by Archibald. So they've gone in maybe a bit lighter in attack tonight. There's no Nicola Sete in the lineup, and there's no Stefan Ristic in the match squad at all for Altona Magic. So it's going to be Lucas and Noon playing in an even more advanced role tonight. Pretty much up beside Lucas to try and get some creative influence for Altona Magic, as we see the ball switched across there nicely by Clark. And this is Hoare. He's got a bit of space and time in those bright yellow boots. Goes out wide, gets a little 1-2 going. Vince Lee is there to block it off though, but he concedes the corner kick. Good enterprising play by South Melbourne. And it will be Henry Hoare over there to swing in the free kick. The breeze is increasing here. It's coming from the southwest behind us. And Hoare raises the one hand, and then he's given another signal. So what will the move be here? Dinked in short towards the penalty spot, or just short of that, and it's away by that Altona Magic defence. And Michael Lee's off and racing here if he can keep this one in, but he can't. And admittedly as well for Altona, there was no players in an advanced position in front of him to go to either, so it was going to be a bit of a one-man band performance when he got on to the end of it. Almazi on the ball now. He's playing, I think he's just playing in a role screening the defence actually, which is, I guess, showing his versatility. We've seen him at this ground many times before representing the Altona Magic side. 2019, one of their stars in that year. In central defence, now playing in defensive midfield. As just as I say that, Katie, he's dropped back in between the centre backs into a defensive line. As the chance here for Clark. Good block by Archibald, right place, right time. Another South Melbourne corner.
Might be something a bit more flexible here though, Steve, just with Almazi. Might be dipping into midfield just throughout, of course, the 90 minutes, and depending on how that goes. Really good work of the angles there by South Melbourne, trying to set up Daniel Clark there. They've won a set piece here, a corner for their troubles. Looking to feed it into the likes of Almazi, who's gone up, as well as Yankovic, who's in there as well. Harrison Sawyer, just a targets galore there for South Melbourne. Looks like it's Josh Wallen to take the corner. Sends it in, and it's very comfortable for Chris Oldfield there. Of course, a veteran, quality keeper like him with so much NPL experience was very much up to the task there. Plenty of NPL quality proven performers here across both sides, really. You see people like Oldfield, Tav Santioglu, rather than Chris Lucas, Harry Noon, Ross Archibald for the Altona. And you got players like, of course, Yankovic, Marshall, Adams, Brad Norton, Almazi, Yankovic. Plenty of quality here on both teams to try and force a result, I would hope.
Yeah, great point there, Katie. It's almost like a all-stars team of maybe the last 3 or 4 years of NPL Victoria, or certainly many of them assembled here. And a large Queensland contingent in the blue and white again tonight, and a lot of those players were able to go up to Queensland and get some football last year where others missed out, so that can only have helped them in their preparations for this season, as we're only 5 rounds into it this year so far. But just the one win so far for South Melbourne, and that came back in the opening weekend of the season against Heidelberg. Harrison Sawyer towering above the pack to open the scoring in that one, which proved to be the only goal of the game. Wasn't his week last week, unsuccessful from the penalty spot against Port Melbourne. He will be hungry to make amends tonight as the ball comes along. Forward aim for Almazi, but the wily old veteran there, Ramazan Tavson-Soglu, he was able to get his head on that one, and showing all of his experience there against the taller opponent, Almazi. Sadlados. Pressure from Burt Gilroy. He's going back and back and back, and he back heels, and he's over the touchline. Throw for Altona. Pasevsky now. Archibald scored here a couple of weeks ago from the set-piece opportunity. And it could well come down to a set-piece situation tonight that decides this match. You just get the feeling it's that kind of game. As Harry Noon's touch goes back to Pasevsky, inside to Leah. Nice little turn by Ruthven and distributes the ball out to Burke Gilroy. He's got some space to whip in a ball. And it was headed towards Harry Noon, but again, well repelled by that quite dominant and tall South Melbourne defence. Tavson Soglu, here he goes again, using all of his pace, just showing us he hasn't lost it yet. He was not in the squad early in the season, then he stepped in. He's replaced Charlie Fry in that defensive line, but admittedly with the change to a back three, there's also that extra spot in there, which has been snapped up by Pasevsky tonight, playing on the left of that back three. As South come forward again, and maybe a little bit of tunnelling there, can we call it, Katie, there, as Daniel Clark was nudged under the ball, and South Melbourne will win the free kick and look to go forward again.
Just a bit of shadow boxing a little bit here at the moment. Both sides just trying to feel each other out and just to get a feel for the game early on. Must say, though, the pitch looks rather in good shape. It looks like definitely an improvement upon recent seasons, which is kudos to the Magic staff. Long ball over the top here. Looking for Hoare, but he did not quite get a hold of it. Adams to get it started straight to Clark. Yeah, both sides just looking for the opening. Just looks like the same sort of hole in the middle of the pitch, right where in that number 10 position for South here at the moment. It's a turnover here, rather than releases Burke Gilroy down the side, who's looking for Lucas. He does find him, outnumbered here, and it's a very, very good challenge there. Of course, Norton and Yankovic closing down the space for Lucas there and winning back possession. Almazi pushing more back into the middle of the field like he was earlier before. Good refereeing so far, I feel, as well, but wanting to give the opportunity to keep play going, trying to let the advantage run before calling play back in the case of a foul. Too much sideways movement here from Altona. Playing out from the back, just too easy to read in South and just picking away here. And of course, you got Clark winning back possession there. Tries to recover his Pasevsky, but it's Wallen who's snuck in here. The shot's blocked, and Oldfield is there to mop up for the Magic. Bit of a danger there for Altona. Just got to be careful playing out from the back there. Need to try get a bit more forward. Try get it to the feet of Ruthven. Looking for Lucas, but Yankovic more than able to read that ball there, but forced to Burke Gilroy.
As Altona come forward again through Pasevsky, he's steaming forward into attack on the overlap there, John Stachewski. And he's done enough to win the corner kick there. So a chance for Altona from the set piece now after a string of corners for South Melbourne. And Vince Leah wanders over to take it. Leah with the corner. In towards the back post area. It's away by Clark. Goes to Lee. Back in by Lee. And it's, again, that South Melbourne defence heading clear before Tavson Soglu couldn't get his foot over the top of that one, and it balloons high and over Pierce Clark's goal. So still 0-0 here at Paisley Park. Altona looking for their first win of the season. In fact, their first win since late June 2019 in NPL Victoria. And Clark, still a chance here, Clark. And Pasevsky gets the foot in, and, well, I thought he put it behind for a corner kick, but it's been given a goal kick. So a bit of reorganisation required, a bit of communication breakdown across that back three. Of course, if you didn't hear earlier, John Markowski out the door after 4 games here at the helm of Altona Magic. And stepping into the chair tonight, Archie Davis, the TD. As the header was by Marshall, now Norton. Over the top for Sawyer. And Oldfield there using all of his 18 yards to come out and get that ball right on the chalk. Still enjoying great sunshine here. You can see the city skyline in the background there. It really looks a picture from this venue here at Altona. Almazi trying to combine with Sawyer. Now Michael Lee. It's Lucas involved. Looking for the 1-2, the give and go. Up the field by Adams. Sawyer looked to be pulled down there by Pasevsky. He's got a bit of height about him, Pasevsky, as well. He's trying to go toe-to-toe with one of the ultimate target mans of NPL football anywhere around Australia. Harrison Sawyer, 6'5". And South come again. Ball out to Salados, and it's a good one too. He can take on Archibald. Still he goes, Jerry Salados. His shot's blocked. And Oldfield comes across, keeping that ball from going behind for a corner kick. And running out of room there was the Magic. And Norton can get us underway with the throw. Up by Archibald. Touch for Almazi. And we can confirm that we are live on YouTube now. So we do apologise for any issues there if you've been sitting at home unable to get footage. As South Melbourne look to attack at this northern end of the ground, and now Burt Gilroy can go forward. Good defence there by Wallen. Wallen's influence on the game ever increasing. Here's Tavston Soglu cutting off Clark. Archibald goes long as the intensity just goes up a notch here in this one midway through the first half. As these teams fight it out for that first goal. It's been a lot of shadow boxing, but now the game's going up a gear. This is Luke Adams. Archibald gives a grunt as he heads that one away. And here's Clark on the ball. He's got runners, but he decides against going to Hoare, and he fires it into the golf course. New balls, please. Still people rolling in to catch this encounter tonight. As Oldfield smashes the ball over the halfway line. Strong header there by Marko Jankovic. On by Norton. Sawyer's using his height. Pasevsky can nod it back, and he does well to find his custodian there, Oldfield. Good ball by Archibald. Here's Johnny Stachewski playing in the wing-back role today. He's a man who likes to get forward when he can anyway, but he's got even more license to do so tonight. As Lucas dropping deep to get the ball going forward, and Ruthven's ball wasn't the best there. Runs out for a goal kick. It's funny, Katie, this match, when we called this match a corresponding fixture last year, Round 5 of NPL Victoria 2020, we didn't know what was in store. And who could have guessed what was to proceed after that particular weekend of football?
Yeah, I remember it very well. Honestly, we didn't really know what was going to happen at the end of that night, and then throughout that week we then realised that we weren't going to be calling for a little while, and that things really got a bit difficult there, particularly here in Victoria. So really fortunate to be back calling, really fortunate to be back watching some local football, and fantastic to see people back out at the local clubs again. Of course, the heart and soul of football in this country is with these clubs, with these supporters, long-term club members and fans. So fantastic to see all of that at the football again. And that's Wallen. really has lifted his intensity here in these last few minutes. Has really been crucial. Burke Gilroy finds, Chris Lucas firing it into the side netting there, feeding off some great work from Michael Lee. They've really had some of their better moments through just those runs from midfield that have been hard for the South defence to track. Those midfield runs from deep, particularly from Lee, from Lucas, and Burke Gilroy, of course, providing a lot of energy down this right side as well. Stojcevski on the other side as well, down the left. Glad we get the streams back up and running. We do apologise for the delay in getting this up and running today, but good to be with you. Altona just continuing to try and stick to the plan, I guess, trying to play it out from the back, taking their time, looking for space to open up. It's really good here for Leah. Knocks it down. Lucas, really good tackle there, but it falls to Burke Gilroy. Takes a deflection, and it's in! It's a goal! Owen Cole, or would you even give that to Burke Gilroy? Either way, it's all the same. Altona are up 1-0 here at home. And a goal, I guess you'd have to say, against the run of play, but Altona have been, plugging away, trying to find the opening, and they did that just then. Important moment in this match, Steve. Big goal.
And just catching the replay there, Katie, it looked like Burke Gilroy's shot was going just off target. Hate to be the fun police on Burke Gilroy because he's been a shining light for the Altona team at right back this season and deserves all the plaudits that he can get, in my opinion. I think his shot was off target there, and it was diverted in by the former Altona man, the man who starred for Altona Magic in 2019, Liram Almazi, who put his head in his hands there. And just as happened when we called this game last year, Katie, Altona take the lead heading into the latter stages of the first half. And, of course, in that particular fixture, South was able to come back and equalise. Interestingly, Altona had their best moment of the game shortly before that, I would say, with that ball into the side netting from Chris Lucas. And they're getting a bit of confidence here as Noon on the ball. But Almazi dropping into that hole in the number 6 position. Back to mop up there, and here's Harrison Sawyer. Man, who's really hungry for a goal tonight. And Norton's coming through like a steam train. He's got runners left and right. He's gone to Sawyer on his left. A little first-time ball. It's bouncing around. Norton continued his run, and he just needed a little bit of fortune there as the ball almost ricocheted into his path off Ramazan Tavsinsoglu. And here come Altona again. Harry Noon tussling with Yankovic. Still they go. This is a good battle, this one. And Alexander Lieber's seen an infringement here, and he's going to bring play back. And he's decided to give the indiscretion against Marko Yankovic in favour of the tenacious Harry Noon. It's going to be Troy Ruthven to swing this one in as Archibald and Pasevsky get forward against that South Melbourne defensive line, stacked with height, the blue and white defensive line. Ruthven, it's in and away again by that South Melbourne defence. Ruthven again, and the flag goes up there. It won't count. And Lucas's shot just span over that top left corner nonetheless anyway.
Just in case you're tuning in now across the YouTube stream here tonight at Paisley Park, we'll go with just the lineups here at the moment. We'll just bring you the Altona home side first. Starting in goal is number 1, Chris Oldfield. Number 2, Ramazan Tavsanjoglu. Number 4, Troy Ruthven. Number 5, Vince Leah. Number 6, Johnny Stojcevski. Number 8, Michael Lee. Number 10, Chris Lucas. Number 13, Jamie Persevsky. Number 14, Harry Noon. Number 15, Ross Archibald. And number 22, Anthony Burke Gilroy. For South Melbourne, starting in goal is number 1, Pierce Clark. Number 2, Liram Almazi. Number 4, Luke Adams. Number 5, Jake Marshall. Number 9, Harrison Sawyer. Number 11, Bradley Norton. A bit of controversy here. Looks like a bit of a foul. Just well, look what Altona claiming, or South Melbourne are claiming is a foul here. Bit of discussion, bit of afters here with the referee. It looks like the outcome's all the same, though, with Pierce Clark to get us restarted here.
Yeah, Harry Noon looking to put some pressure on Pierce Clark there. Just brought him down late, and he didn't appreciate that. And our assistant referee was quick to raise the flag and alert our match referee, Alexander Lieber, that the infringement had occurred after the ball had already been cleared from the area. And I'll just stay with the commentary here as Hoare's coming forward with the ball, and he's got Wallen in support. Looking for Hoare again, and Tavson Soglu's in the right place, and he punts that one out towards Millers Road. That has gone miles. And when we retrieve the ball, it will be a throw in to South Melbourne. And I'll put you back to Katie, who is just going to complete those lineups for you in case you aren't able to catch the early part of the stream.
Just with the South Melbourne lineup, number 11, of course, Captain Bradley Norton. Number 13, Henry Hoare. Number 14, Josh Wallen. Number 15, Marko Jankovic. Number 22, Daniel Clark. And number 45, Jerry Salados. The options on the benches for Altona tonight are number 3, Charlie Fry. Number 7, Nicholas Seto. Number 16, David Trajanowski. Number 20, Jonas Markovski. And number 21, Matthew Christina. And on the bench for South Melbourne tonight is number 10, Marcus Schrein. Number 12, Freddie Say. Number 17, James Burgess. Number 20, Zachary Bates. And number 24, Ben Jeeba. Some attacking options here across both benches, particularly Marcus Schrein, who I think can add some late darting runs from midfield, really able to, run at the Altona defence late on. Nicholas Sete, of course, maybe some X-factor off the bench as well, but primarily defensive options, Steve.
That's right, Katie. As we were saying earlier, the match started out with a lot of shadow boxing, and it went through the gears, and then it led to Altona Magic taking the lead with that deflected shot by Burt Gilroy going in off the unfortunate El Marzi, who was in the wrong place at the wrong time, deflecting the ball past Pierce Clark. And we'll just come back to the live moments now as South Melbourne look to attack down this far side, and it will be a corner kick. It was a good bit of play there by Luke Adams on the overlap. Luke Adams is lined up as a right fullback again tonight, getting forward, combining with Jerry Salados and winning the corner kick. And we'll have a change of taker. It has been Henry Hoare taking the corners from that far side. Now it's going to be Jerry Salados to see what he can do with those striking red boots. There's plenty of tall timber in the middle. Jankovic, Sawyer, Almarzi, Marshall, they're all in there. And they've gone into what I can only call the I formation as they split into different areas there. And in it goes. Yes, it's a goal for South Melbourne. And they pull that one back. It's 1-1 here at Paisley Park. Good ball from Salados. And the header, well, it just bounced along off the deck, but it was the defender that had got forward, Marko Jankovic, who is the name of the scorer, and he's pretty happy with himself after that one. Well taken goal. And as we expected, the set pieces were going to be all important tonight. So nice finish by Jankovic there, Katie, and South Melbourne, they're back in it. We've got a game on our hands. We were dreading a bore draw, a 0-0, and now it's turning into an action-packed Saturday night of football in NPL Victoria here in round 5 Saturday night at Paisley Park.
Important moment, I think, too. I was hoping just quietly for a goal just in these early exchanges, just about this half, even just to try and bring either side out a bit more, particularly with the more defensive shapes I think both sides have sort of gone into today. Really important moment in this game, I think. Game should start to open up a little bit more. Both sides, of course, trying to stick to their plans, trying to stick to their structures, just trying to play out like Altona are doing at the moment. But South have had some real success just through firstly the likes of Daniel Clark and, of course, Josh Wallen, just really drifting out into those spaces and trying to create attacking opportunities like that. That just built up quite a bit of pressure here, but Altona going to look to hit back pretty quickly, you'd think. Chris Lucas trying to compete in the air there. Not quite working out as Ruthven resets play. Tavsan Choglu just playing it back to Oldfield. South really pressing high here. Altona have to be careful. Very well won there by Jankovic, winning back possession there. Probably South's best player in these early exchanges, Steve.
Yeah, he's been really good back there in the heart of defence for South tonight as they look to come forward again. Another one who's been good recently is Wallen. His intensity has gone through the roof in the last 10 to 15 minutes. As Vince Lee does well to win the ball back there, and Michael Lee's pass can't find Noon, and here's Almazi looking to switch for Salados, but even the pacey winger Salados will not be able to run down that ball. South Melbourne manager Esteban Quintas out of his seat. He's got some words of advice for Jerry Salados as we are getting into the latter stages now of this first half. It's the score 1-1, and you can see in the background there the hot plates are zinging along, and there's kebab rolls to be consumed at half-time. People were looking to get in there quick maybe before the half-time whistle is blown to beat the rush. As Tavson Soglu's clearance goes straight up in the air, and the header's won by Sawyer. Burt Gilroy will get there first. And that looks like a clear foul there by Jake Marshall, getting into the back of Chris Lucas. Bit of a height mismatch there between the two, but Lucas comes out on top on this occasion. Archibald. Esteban Quintas right in front of us, getting more and more vocal. He's not the sort of coach to sit down and chill anyway. In most cases, at least. Archibald looking for Lucas. That's going to run all the way through to Piers Clark, and he can take that one on the chest and redistribute it out to his skipper, Brad Norton, who's been ever effective in this match. Now Clark looking for Sawyer. Sawyer, what will he do? Can he take on... Well, Burt Gilroy's got into the back of him, but... Well, Alexander Lever felt that he was already going down before the contact happened, and I can see where he's coming from there too, Alexander Lever. So play on's the call. Archibald, congested space here, a lot of blue shirts. The travelling South Melbourne fans to our left, they have found voice, and you just feel like they're spurring on their team when the ball is on this near side, particularly. You can just feel their intensity and the numbers getting around the ball goes up, and they've won the free kick now. So a chance from the set piece for South Melbourne. Yeah, can someone find a second goal before we go inside for half-time? Wallen. Well, Harry Noon's pressure there, and South Melbourne running out of room.
Something definitely to that, I think. Harry Noon forcing the issue there, trying to press, trying to block into his half. Unfortunately, they're just going too long in toward the path of Lucas, and all day long, Jankovic, Marshall, Almazi, all of those defenders are going to mop that up all day. So Altona really need to try and get the ball, keep the ball on the ground, particularly in the forward half. Try to get Lee involved a bit more. Try to get Lucas to get onto, a run through midfield and try to get a shot away. Just need more of that supply, because right now just those high hit and hope sort of balls for Lucas just aren't working at the moment.
Now, Daniel Clark in the, I'm assuming, deliberately non-matching boots tonight. He's going to take this free kick with his left foot. As you can see there, both with that pink-orange colour on the heels, but one black and one white. Clark to the back post. And still the ball's free. And we've got a penalty kick decision here. Lever's pointed to the spot. We'll do our best to catch that one on the replay. But I have to say, I have actually no idea what that was for. The gesture looks to be that it might have been some holding going on there, as the only cues here we have are any kind of non-verbal communication. That there was possibly some holding, as South Melbourne did have, it looked like Jankovic going to ground there, Katie. So we'll go with that. We'll say it was for a hold on Yankovic after the initial ball spilled into the 6-yard box into a very dangerous position. And Oldfield was looking to come out and cover, but well, when you let the ball go to ground in that sort of area so close to goal, you really put yourself in a vulnerable position. But Altona Magic not impressed with the decision. And Harrison Sawyer stepped up last week. Well, it looks like he's been relieved of his duties, and it's a chance from 12 yards for Jerry Salados to open his account. Salados scores! South Melbourne do take the lead before halftime. Salados low and hard and into the bottom left corner as the crowd chants, Jerry, Jerry. South Melbourne, they are now looking good for this one. Going into halftime, 2-1. That is a handy advantage for Esteban Quintas' side. So there you go. Yankovic involved in both goals. First winning the header to score, winning the penalty kick, and Salados did the rest.
Yeah, easily that confirms, I think, Yankovic's best on player, best on ground performance in his first half, Jerry Salados tucking that beautifully to the bottom left corner. Gave himself every chance there, converted it very calm and coolly to the bottom left, giving South the all-important lead as we near half-time here. Bit of a challenge there. Looks to be by Leah for a foul on Wallen. So a chance for South to reset the tone here, reset the play. Adams, of course, looking down that line again, looking for Clark, who's provided a lot of attacking drive across this half. Has worked tirelessly across that front half. Rather than doing his best to control tempo here, but he has to be looking forward toward the middle of the park, particularly for Lee, for more support, looking for more, more of a link with Noon. Lucas really tried to get the ball on the deck and try to play as best he can. Need to get, of course, Bert Gilroy, who's had a lot of good attacking moves in this half. As the assistant referee confirms an extra 2 minutes here to be played in stoppage time. To have Sanchioglu. Archibald looking for that diagonal ball, looking for Lee, but it's well mopped up again. Same sort of problem that Altona are running into here, same sort of issues. What can Altona manufacture here just in these last dying moments in the first half? The bulk of their possession, of course, coming in their defensive half. Need to find something here to stay in this game. Otherwise, South are just going to be able to mop up the rest of this pressure, soak this all up, and they'll be more than happy to do that and try to find an option going the other way in the second half. Norton well up for that header there. Michael Lee dropping a little bit deeper. Maybe adding a third into midfield. And trying to flick it into the path of Lucas.
And it's still Altona with the impetus here, at least in terms of possession. As this half closes out, they do trail 2-1 as that freight train finally departs the pitch side area here at Paisley Park. But it is South Melbourne who've brought the goods so far. 2-1 as we await the half-time whistle. Archibald to Tavshin Soglu again. Just on repeat. Looking for those options forward. As Katie said, the long ball forward, not a great idea. They don't have the height or numerical advantage down there, but this is better. Down the flank, Michael Lee. His cross lets him down. Goes behind for a goal kick as Alexander Lever blows for half-time here as we wrap it up there. Goals for Yankovic, and then Yankovic winning the penalty, which was converted by Jerry Salados. In between that, it was the goal. Bert Gilroy shot deflected in to the back of the net by Liram Almazi. 2-1 here in favour of the visitors. Any final thoughts on the first half, Katie Lambeski?
A deserved lead for South Melbourne, I think you have to say. Just were able to, claw their way back when, of course, they conceded that goal just before the half-hour mark. Of course, that own goal really did well to seize back the initiative. Players like Wallen getting into the game a bit more. Clark really selfless in the way that he's running and moving the ball around. Opportunities there for South that opened up, and they were able to take them. And Jankovic has been an outstanding player of the match of that first half. Anyway, lots for Altona Magic to think about as they head into the rooms. What can they respond? Hopefully, we'll see how things go in the second half.
Thank you, Katie. Well, be sure to join us for the second half here. We've really enjoyed the first half, despite one or two challenges. It's been very exciting viewing for us. So join us for the second half after the players come back out, both myself, Steve Curtin, and Katie Lambeski. It's going to be a fascinating 45 minutes. Hello and a very warm welcome back to the second half of this match between Altona Magic and South Melbourne. If you're just joining us here, the score is 2-1 to the visitors. Goals from Marko Jankovic and a spot kick from Jerry Salados for the visitors, and an own goal by Liram Almazi. It was created by Anthony Burke-Gilroy. The key moments of this match so far, as we've just seen a halftime substitution with Jonas Markovski, the tall figure up front for the Magic, entering the fray. And Michael Lee has left the field of play at halftime. And also Nicolas Sete, he's also joined the match at halftime as well. As South are on the attack here. It's half a shout, one or two shouts for a penalty there as Daniel Clark went to ground. And Archibald concedes the corner kick. As we come back from halftime, the lights have certainly taken full effect here. Now, late afternoon football certainly feels like Saturday night football now. Corner kick for South Melbourne. Jerry Salados wandering over to take it. It was his delivery before which led to the goal for Marko Jankovic. Norton. Salados. Pressure from Sete, who wins the ball back. He's all on his own out there in front of the players' race, and he concedes a throw to South Melbourne. It's like the half-time substitutes just hurt his wrist in the process. And he's, that's a bit of a stinger at the moment for Nicolas Sete, only coming onto the field in his first touch, and he's already coughed a nasty knock. He'll have to run that one off, though, I think, Katie, as Ruthven plays the ball forward to Markovski. And he's putting pressure straight away on Jake Marshall, who goes for the Rainmaker and his noon, but his touch lets him down. Hoare. And Adam showed a bit too much of the ball to Nicolas Sete, and he plays a 1-2 with Harry Noon, and Sete is away into the penalty area. Good chance for Altona, but again repelled by Jankovic. And Sawyer is off and running here. Flag stays down. Harrison Sawyer, here's his chance. And it goes behind Harrison Sawyer. Well, in fact, we'll credit the defender there, Archibald, because he's signalled for a corner kick there. The referee, Alexander Lever, yet another South Melbourne corner kick. And it's been a bright opening for, well, I guess for South Melbourne, but it's also been a little bit of end-to-end with that little fast break by the Magic as Salados wanders over to take the corner kick. And, well, Jankovic, he already has one from this situation. It's drilled in towards Oldfield, but too close to the man in yellow. And he sends that one long, looking for Chris Lucas. And Clark is out, and he's cleared that one over towards the canteen. And Burke-Gilroy's wasting no time. Quick throw into Ruthven. Markovski. Ruthven with the little pivot and turn. Markovski with a first-time pass. Savson Soglu. Touch here for Stachevski. Plays it into the feet of Harry Noon. And the touch let him down, and Harry Noon exerting all of his physicality there, and Jake Marshall goes to the floor. And no foul, though, as Piers Clark's happy to take any advantage, then shoot anyway by gathering the ball and distributing it out to the far side for Jankovic, and he's going long. So South Melbourne going quite direct since the break. That one was aimed up there at Daniel Clark. Stachevski for Sete. In fact, it runs through to Harry Noon. Markovski likes the first-time pass. Sete playing more inside than we're used to seeing him. And Ruthven with the shot. It's fizzing over the goal. Good effort by Ruthven. Just off target. So a warning shot early in this second half, in the first minutes of this second half, should I say, for Altona Magic.
bright start to the proceedings here. Troy Rutherford making a real good attempt there on goal. Just couldn't quite get that low enough. Altona with some attacking changes at the half. You have Nicholas Sete replacing Jamie Persevsky, who is, of course, playing as a wing-back type. Of course, as well, Jonas Markovsky replacing Michael Lee. So just a bit of fresh attacking impetus there off the Altona bench. Game starting to open up, a lot more space, end-to-end sort of action so far in these opening few minutes. Both sides wasting little time. No need to get back into the swing of things and readjust after the break, as the clearance sails right over to the pitch here just behind your screens. Altona looking to turn the screws here. It's John Stochevsky setting up there. Markovsky trying to hold the ball up, trying to give Altona a focal point, which I think they need at this point, Steve. Someone just to sort of rally around, try to play it to feet a bit more. Definitely need some more support, some more attacking sort of drive here. Need to get the ball to feet of the big striker, of course.
So yeah, as Katie was saying, it looks like that halftime adjustment for the Magic. It looks like they've obviously sacrificed one of their three centre backs, which is probably a good call given the circumstances. So now it's a centre-half duo of Archibald and Tavson Soglu, with Stachevsky and Burt Gilroy going back into more genuine fullback roles rather than the wing-back roles. And Jonas Markovsky, he's going to lead the line with his height there. And we'll just come back to this as Harrison Sawyer's on the charge again. But Tavson Soglu held his ground firmly. And here comes Nicholas Sete. Markovsky. Ruthven sprays it out wide to Lucas. He's now operating out wide on the right. Still he goes, Chris Lucas. And it evades everyone. But another promising bit of play from Altona Magic. So it looks like more of a 4-2-3-1 with that back four that we just mentioned. And Leah and Ruthven sitting in front of them. And in front of them is the trio of Sete on the left. Harry Noon through the middle. And Lucas moving out to wide right with Jonas Markovsky leading the line. So the conventional 4-2-3-1 now for Altona, as Ruthven's he was on the charge there until his touch let him down. Now Jerry Salados looking for support, and he just about found Josh Wallen there. But good bit of defending. Archibald came charging through. Now Sete, the fresh legs, he's been a live wire since he's come on already. So those little step overs and moves inside. Harry Noon. This is chance for the cross to come in, and Markovsky got his head on it, and it wasn't far away at all. So Burt Gilroy out on that far side, getting in a very high quality ball for Markovsky. Couldn't apply the finish. Lots to be excited about for Altona in the last 5 minutes. And it's not just about that steam and smoke coming off the hot plates there in your picture.
I think we've got a full moon going on here tonight, just behind that big light post there toward the left of your screen. So it's all happening here. Definitely a fast start to this second half, and quite a welcome, I think, change compared to that sort of shadow boxing we sort of saw in the first half. Clark into some space here, releases Salados with the pass. Will try to take on his marker. Looks for an option, goes back to Clark, fires it low, and Oldfield is more than up to that challenge there. Altona's still trying to continue on, trying to play, keep play out from the back, trying to take their time. Trying to work through, the South Melbourne formation here. Of course, while Altona may have made some attacking changes at the start of this half, South still yet to make a change, and of course they have in reserve, they have Freddie Say, Marcus Schrain, Zachary Bates, James Burgess and Ben Jeeber to choose from. But you have to think Esteban Quintas will be pretty happy with his charges at the moment, Steve.
Yeah, he's looking very content down there. He's just had a little glance at his watch. Still a long time to go in this one, though, Esteban. So Would be handy to go for a third, perhaps, to kill the game off. As Oldfield finds John Stachewski. So we said Altona's reverted back to a standard back four at half-time. Stachewski looking to get forward equally as much as when he was at wing-back, though. Yankovic looking to get there first ahead of Lucas. And Lucas has done well there. Good play by the former Bentley Greensman, winning the corner kick for the Magic. And it will be Nicholas Sete who's wandering over to take. Set piece has already been decisive in this match. We've already seen Marko Yankovic with his goal from a corner, from that very same corner over there. And you can see right in front of the corner kick, Henry Hoare is just standing on the mark almost a la Australian rules player, and good punch comes out there by Pierce Clark. And now Salados is on the charge. He's got Leah applying the pressure. In fact, it was Stachewski. Excellent time sliding tackle, John Stachewski. The throw was by Adams. And there's a bit of a chat going on between the Altona dugout and Luke Adams. Luke Adams, 5 caps and a goal for the All Whites of New Zealand. Now calls Lakeside Stadium home in his club career. Daniel Clark with the free kick. It goes very long. Almazi got the header. Burt Gilroy got the second bite. And the head tennis continues. Chance here for Hoare. And there's the finish there. Would you believe it? It's that man again. Yankovic at the double. And South Melbourne, well, it's all coming up blue and white here at Paisley Park.
Absolutely, absolutely. Really forcing the issue now, really reinforcing their advantage with that goal. Perfectly timed just after the second half, trying to retake the advantage here. And caps off what has been, at this point, a stellar performance from Marko Yankovic. Of course, coming in just at the right moment, timed his run to perfection just inside the box and just tucked it home. Can't ask for much more than that, can you? Such an experienced performer, such a stellar performer at this level for a while, and South Melbourne have had a really, really handy acquisition on their hands. Really well played there. What can Altona find here? They definitely need to regain some momentum, try to get the game back on their terms, whether it's just by holding onto the ball just for a little bit, try and, maybe even drop, a defender back, maybe go to a straight back four. Might be a bit too much to ask at this point with 2 subs already made, but they have to find something here if they're going to try to find anything from this game.
Just enjoying watching that finish by Marko Yankovic on the replay there. Just a fine left-footed side foot. Textbook stuff. The defender's finishing school there is the tall figure of Marko Yankovic. Yet another one of the Queenslanders in this South Melbourne lineup. And he's now gone to ground here. He's been involved in so much action tonight. And we hope he can bounce back to his feet and be okay after that one. But he did cop one to the face, it appears. And, the big Queenslander has gone down on the floor. But it would take a lot to wipe the smile off his face with 2 goals tonight in this match. And Yankovic will take the resulting free kick after he dusts himself off, and he is now the joint top scorer for South Melbourne with Harrison Sawyer, so would you believe that? As South enjoying this 3-1 lead, and they're going to enjoy a chance to get forward for another set piece. Taken quickly here, could catch some off guard, but it's blasted over by Norton. Ends up running out for a throw-in. So Jerry Slatos with the goal from the penalty spot earlier. That's 1 goal in 5 for him this season, which equals his tally of 2020 when the season stopped. He was also on 1 goal, so as you were 12 months ago, Jerry Salatos. Tavson Soglu. Archibald. Well, it's a bit of a shell-shocked looking set of players out there in red and black now after they had a really good spell before that Marko Jankovic finish. And crafty bit of skill there by Sete. And we almost got a touch on the scaffold here. Unfortunately, back off the frame and unable to show off our first touch while holding a microphone. Sete now. Stachewski gets around Salatos expertly, plays it into the box. And it's again repelled by that South Melbourne defence. Leo forced to go back. Harry Noon dropping deep. Stachewski. First time from Sete. This is better from the Magic. Well, I think if I'm Altona Magic now, all I can think is to try my best to continue playing as it was before that goal went in when it was still 2-1, because they were looking the goods just before that.
Yeah, definitely. I think try to put some impetus on trying to win your one-on-one battles. Try to beat your player. Try to win that individual contest that you may be in, particularly with the forwards against defenders, that sort of thing. But I think they've just been particularly overrun a little bit here, particularly through the midfield. I think a lot of that has had to do with Daniel Clark. A lot of that for South Melbourne, who's just been really, really energetic sort of performance, I think you have to say. So the smoke continues to billow across that left side of your screen there from the canteen here at Altona Magic. Can't get stuck into the trap of trying to, recoup the advantage as quick as possible, retrieve the advantage, I'll say, right away here from Altona. Just have to try and find that one opening, try to create that opening, try to force the chance, try to score the goal. Things can change very quickly in this game, as we know. Esteban Quintas just on the edge of his area here, as is Archie Davis, who is the stand-in, or for what we now understand, the interim coach of Altona at this time.
Still a running battle continuing there between Luke Adams and Nicholas Sete. Adams showing some physicality towards Sete, who didn't appreciate it. No foul given, and then a few pleasantries were exchanged verbally after that. As Adams takes the throw. Controlled by Sawyer, but not close enough to his body. That one overran Markowski. Stachewski. Ruthven. Burke Gilroy is the man responsible for Altona's only goal tonight, with some credits to Liram Elmazi as well. Sete. And there's a late challenge there on Sete, and we just said that battle's been brewing along, and now Luke Adams becomes the first player to go into the book tonight. So the New Zealander, late tackle on Sete, who, as you can see, Sete is not impressed with that challenge at all. You could sense, he could feel the footsteps coming of the New Zealander coming through the back of him. And we're going to have a little delay here. So we will to update you on some scores from other venues tonight. And Dandenong Thunder, they're leading a goal to nil against Port Melbourne at halftime. Also in the 26th minute, Hume City and Bentley Greens. An exciting match, that one. That's at 0-0 at the moment. Currently in the A-League, Central Coast 1, Melbourne Victory 1 at halftime. And the other NPL Victoria result earlier today at full time, it was Avondale 1, Melbourne Knights 1 in that much anticipated match there, with the Knights having a stellar season so far after 5 rounds, on top of the table going into round 5. Displacing Green Gully, who led before them. Green Gully had another loss last night, going down 2-0 against Oakley. Archibald plays it forward. Again, it's repelled by that South Melbourne defence. Vince Leah. Stacheski. Can he get a good ball in? Well, it was eagerly awaited by Pierce Clark, who came and collected that one. As you can see in your images there, plumes of smoke off the barbecue. Canteen doing a roaring trade. Some excellent kebab rolls we enjoyed before the game here. Worth getting here early to sample the cuisine, as is a feature of most NPL Victoria clubs. And that is no exception here at Paisley Park. And Altona will win the free kick there. Harry Noon infringed upon, and Archibald will take the free kick from just ahead of the halfway line. And while they don't look at the moment, stranger things have happened. It was 2 weeks ago here. Altona sitting comfortably on a 2-goal cushion against 10 men. And then next thing, Heidelberg pulled back 2 goals, including an injury time finish, to get a share of the points. And Almazi's given away the free there, sliding in the long legs, making contact. And the South Melbourne team, they've stepped up the physicality in the last 5 minutes, trying to rattle the Altona Magic side. Another sliding tackle there, and there's going to be some trouble here. Archibald was caught late. Yellow card was out from Alexander Lever straight away. And it was a sort of challenge. Not quite the one that clears the dugout at baseball, but several players did come running in to remonstrate after that one happened. Archibald is the man who went to ground. He was caught late, and just as we were saying that just a moment before about South Melbourne stepping up the physicality, this was yet another example of that. And it was the heat was brought by Josh Wallen there on that occasion, and he goes into the book. So Wallen is in the book, as well as Luke Adams now for South Melbourne. As Altona skipper Ross Archibald will look to pick himself up.
Heavy challenge there. Just was a 50-50 contest, and Wallen just went in there with full-blooded, really just went right into that challenge there. The referee immediately signalling a yellow card, immediately pulling that out. And fingers crossed that it's not too harsh an outcome here for Ross Archibald. Looks like he's set to continue. He's just limping a little bit at this moment now. Looks set to continue, but we'll keep an eye on him. Gabe's been played in a decent spirit, but now the competitive nature is starting to kick in a little bit. Altona trying to find an opening here. South trying to retain the lead. And we have a full moon going on at the moment, so crazy things can happen, as we know.
And still bouncing around in the South Melbourne penalty area, but they're eventually able to clear their lines, but only as far as Tavson Soglu. Goes to Leah. Markovski calls for offside against Zacheski. Flag stays down. Markovski battles, still on hands and knees. Still he goes, and Noon fires. Decent effort, but it's over the bar. As Pierce Clark flung himself to try and block that one. He wasn't to know that one was going above the crossbar. It wasn't far away. So Altona Magic, they're showing a bit of mettle now. You saw Jonas Markowski there, literally on hands and knees, keeping that ball alive and almost providing an assist in the process to Harry Noon. Harry Noon still yet to open his account for the Magic since crossing from Olympic Village after 5 stellar seasons at Heidelberg United. It was his free kick that did create the opportunity for Jonas Markowski to score here 2 weeks ago. That was an example of the power he possesses in his locker. It's Harry Noon on that occasion, blasting a powerful free kick that was too hot to handle. Now, Archibald looking to play the 1-2 with Lucas. It runs to Sete, and then Lucas and Sete not on the same page. Luck's a fortune. It stays in play, and, well, that was a key interception there. And it's eventually tipped behind. It was Jake Marshall who got in, and his clearance didn't quite do the business in preventing the danger, and it was Pierce Clark just tapping that one behind for a corner. And Nicola Sete will look to take the free kick, and again we see Hoare just standing on the mark, I suppose you could say. It's flicked on by Sawyer. Tavson Soglu. Archibald flew in the air. Away now by Sawyer. Zacheski can reload. Looking for Archibald. Decent effort by Archibald, but he just wanted to try and square that one across the goal, I think, Katie. He wasn't quite able to on this occasion. It ran through to Pierce Clark, but it was the right idea.
Haven't quite made enough of their set-piece opportunities to have Altona tonight, as South Melbourne look like they're going to make a change. We'll stand by for that one, but it appears that Zachary Bates is all but ready to come on the ground. Looking like Jerry Silados may have to make way, but we'll stay tuned on that one and we'll confirm for you. South just happy here to soak up some pressure. And we can confirm at this time it will be indeed Zachary Bates coming on to replace Jerry Silados. A bit of reinforcement here for South Melbourne here just past the 70th minute mark. Just trying to see this home, I think, at this point. So there's also a player down just behind play. Well, keep an eye on that as well. Yeah, we can confirm, yes, indeed, that's Henry Hoare. He looks back up, though, and looks to be okay, but we'll definitely keep an eye on how he tracks throughout this. Ross Archibald, of course, looking okay just after that very heavy challenge, of course, by Josh Wallen earlier. Very good performance, I thought, from Silados today. Just was trying to make something happen, got into some decent space throughout. Couldn't quite get enough chances, quite a clear giveaway on goal, shot on goal. But just was, I think, was key to South Melbourne, just trying to poke around, trying to find some space, and did his job, I thought. Did well tonight.
And not to mention an expertly taken spot kick as well, which was an important part. But as you say, Katie, all of those other points, they were also very valuable towards the South Melbourne, or his contribution for South Melbourne tonight, as Leah plays it forward. And who's there to shield it back to Pierce Clark? Guess who? Marko Jankovic. If you were able to comment on the stream at home, let us know who your man of the match is. I think a lot of people might be saying Marko Jankovic. Now, anyway, a chance for Zachary Bates coming on here with a reasonable amount of time to show his wares. He's a good attack-minded midfielder. 21-year-old, has had his share of hamstring injuries in his career, so we do wish him all the best and hope that he can get a sustained stint of football. And he's currently lining up on the right-hand side of the midfield for South Melbourne. Speaking of getting your comments in, we can confirm that the Facebook platform is available. So if you're tuning in on the NPL Victoria streams, use the NPL Victoria Facebook page. Get your comments in. Let us know where you're enjoying this match from. There's not a lot of time to go, actually, all of a sudden, Katie. So we are only just over sort of 15 minutes to go. We will do our best to read out your comments in between the action here on the number one pitch at Paisley Park, with Altona enjoying a fair spell of possession, but well, if they can peg one back here, we've really got a situation where it will be game on. But for the moment, South Melbourne looking very comfortable.
I mean, we can only look back to a few weeks ago, particularly with their comeback result, of course, against Avondale earlier in the season. They're not going to die wondering here, I think, Altona, just trying to create opportunities, trying to still plug away. Sete trying to get onto the ball, but it runs through to Rutherford, but the shot's blocked. Sete again retaining possession. The ball is in from Stoichevsky, but the South defence are more than able to clear that. Solid as anything tonight. There's, of course, been the rock behind this performance. And, of course, the defence is getting a ton of both ends too. Yankovic with both goals. Of course, earlier in today, Altona, of course, taking the lead just before the half-hour mark through what we would determine, I think, is a no-goal from Lirim Almazi. But the shot was, of course, coming from Anthony Burke-Gilroy at that time. Altona still trying to make an opportunities here, but it'll be South that'll be able to just mop up and restart from there.
South Melbourne, they're preparing to make another substitution here, and there was a big round of applause for this man as he ran past the South Melbourne supporters on the hill here on our right, because it's going to be the first time this season that we see their number 10, Marcus Strone, coming into play. And we're getting word it's going to be Josh Wallen, who is on a yellow card. He's going to be the man sacrificed. Now, here's a chance for the substitute. Zachary Bates. He's down near the corner flag. Looks to take on Tavson Soglu. The wily old fox does the business, though, and Altona can come away through Ruthven. Burke Gilroy up to Lucas. Leah. He's got a little bit of time to pick his pass, and he was half a metre there away from the perfect pass to Johnny Stachewski, but in the end, not quite the successful outcome, and it is now a popular figure for South Melbourne coming on. Marcus Strone receiving the applause. As we see, Josh Wallen receives a pat on the back from South Melbourne assistant Andrew Webster. Can take his seat on the bench and enjoy the view from there for the last 15 minutes here. Vince Leo. Tavson Soglu looking to go direct. Stachewski. Leah. Adams in first. And Almazi with more of a hit and hope, but it's going to put Tavson Soglo under some pressure, having his shorts pulled there by Harrison Sawyer. We saw it from our position here in the commentary box. Despite the 2-goal cushion, Esteban Quintas remains vocal as ever in the technical area. He's riding every kick at the moment, Katie.
Trying to bring his side home, trying to keep on top of things as best he can, I guess. Yeah, looking at Altona's, I think, look at who Altona's sort of missing here. I think they just lack that point of difference in attack. I think in certain moments, particularly with the absence of John McShane, Stefan Ristic, of course, missing tonight, Steve Kuzmanovsky as well, not factoring in to the squad here tonight. They'll be keen to get them back as soon as possible, just to add that sort of difference, that point of difference. Markovsky's just been battling away, trying to hold up the ball, trying to make things happen. Of course, trying to bring his teammates into it, but just not working out. They just haven't. They need that extra bit of class. Yankovic surging forward here. Selfless play, sets up Clark, who takes your shot, and it's a goal! Daniel Clark seals the result here for South Melbourne. Building up on some really selfless work there from Marko Yankovic, who surged forward, played the ball across when he noted the run of Daniel Clark, who made no mistake with the finish. That's all she wrote, folks. Game over. South Melbourne 4, Altona Magic 1.
Well, South Melbourne fans tuning in, they can lap this up. They've only scored 3 goals all season before this, but now they've scored 4 tonight. And they're going to be taking the 3 points back to Lakeside with a second win of the season. It was an excellent team goal there, finished off expertly by Daniel Clark. As you can see, the setup there, Sawyer involved. And that man again, Marko Yankovic, laying it off. 2 goals and an assist. Not bad for a guy who's playing out of centre-back, and won a penalty, as you correctly said. I think that counts as 2 assists, Katie, then. Will we say that? Let's go with that. Let's go with that. So if there was ever a 5-star performance, look out in the corner flag team of the week for Marko Yankovic this week, I fancy. As the cross comes in from Burt Gilroy. Chance for Ruthven. Almazi out to clear the danger. Ruthven's down holding his ankle. And the shot from Leah went wide of the left hand upright. Still the plumes of smoke emanate from the hot plates over there. If you are looking for a late night snack and you're in the Altona area, come on down. You might even catch a few more minutes of excellent quality NPL Victoria football. A night that's belonged to South Melbourne more and more as it's gone on. Daniel Clark misses that one. Burt Gilroy looking to play over the top. Chris Lucas, excellent first touch. It's picture perfect. Harry Noon turns it over. And Hoare goes back to come forward. Sawyer's header after Norton's long ball. South Melbourne, they're making another change here, Katie. Looks like Freddie Say is going to be the man coming on. And the word is Hoare will be the player sacrificed. Freddie Say represented Ghana at the African Cup in New South Wales last year. Had a stint at Bonnie Rig White Eagles up there in Sydney as well. Gets his chance here. But of course they are defending a corner kick now, and as the old adage goes, never make a sub when you're defending a corner kick. Maybe even if you've got a 3-goal cushion. In comes the corner, floated in high, and away by Adams, and his fellow number 4 smashes that one, and it's another corner kick for the Magic. Nicolas Sete showing some urgency to take this one. Just in front of the hill to our left that's packed with South Melbourne supporters. Sete to take. Can they find a consolation goal? In it comes, flicked on well at the near post. But South Melbourne were able to clear the danger. It was Johnny Stachewski who got that flick on. And he left a leg out there. And, well, for some reason, the free kick has not been given there. Henry Hall went to ground. It looked like an intentional foul. And I think Alexander Lieber felt that there was no contact.
Altona making their third and final substitution here. David Trajanovski replacing the number 10 for Altona, Chris Lucas, who's had to battle mainly today to try and manufacture opportunities. And of course, confirmation for that substitution for South Melbourne. We have Freddie Say replacing Henry Hoare at the 84th minute here at Paisley Park. Really workmanlike performance, I think, from Hoare today. Really, I think, along with Wallen, was really crucial in wresting back some of that early momentum Altona had. Pushed things back in the direction of South Melbourne and really helped generate that lead that they took in that first half. All to and really helped set the momentum up for the second half as well, you'd think, with those goals. The ball falls here, but it's blocked here by the South defence. Say trying to win back possession, but it's turned right back around.
And here come Altona again. Is the substitute on the ball, David Trajanovski, and then eventually the shot flies over the top of the crossbar. Which is an all too common occurrence, unfortunately, for the Altona Magic fans tonight, who are tuning in. Thank you for your comments on the Facebook live stream. We'll do our best to give you a shout out if we can before full time. Ten to go. See it out is the call from the South Melbourne defenders, particularly Marko Jankovic, who's our man of the match elect tonight. Managed to score a double from centre back. 1 assist and one penalty, which was converted by Salados. As Oldfield recycles play through Tabson Soglu, we see our second freight train of the evening coming through. That is literal, not metaphoric. South Melbourne fans might say that Marko Jankovic has been the freight train tonight, charging through from the back. As Altona on the attack again, and Burke Gilroy had his chance to run to that ball, thwarted again by the South Melbourne defence. And it is yet another corner kick here as we approach the final couple of minutes of regulation time. Stachewski playing that one in. And a chance for Trajanovski. It's deflecting around that penalty area like pinball on full tilt. Here's Stachewski again, floating on that left foot. Ristich climbing on top of Adams. And goal kick is the decision. Nicolas Sete, there should I say, Nicolas Sete, they're climbing, trying to win the header. Nicolas Sete, the half-time substitute, certainly injected a bit of intensity when he got on the field, when Altona did get on top briefly before that that goal that saw them confined to a 2-goal deficit, which has now become 3. Up the field by Leo. Stachewski Chavson Soglu, the man who enjoyed a lot of football in the blue and white of South Melbourne in the past. Many years ago now. Archibald looking for Trajanowski. It's read well by Almazi, and here comes Freddie Say. He was ready to turn on the Jets, but Stachewski used all of his experience there to win the ball, and here comes Sete. Can he get a shot away, Sete? He does, but his body position didn't favour that kind of type of shot, I suppose, and he was just feeding that one on the ground to Piers Clark.
Confirmation now here from the assistant referee that there will be 4 minutes of stoppage time left in this contest here. No new manager bounced here for Altona tonight. I don't think they haven't at all looked disinterested. I think in any way that I can sense that they've definitely been trying, but what they've tried hasn't quite worked. And the South have just been far too stable at the back, far too tough to play against at this time, and it's all come together, you have to say, for South Melbourne. And while Altona have battled away, have tried to find an opening, tried to plug away, they just don't have any answers for that, unfortunately. I think if this defence keeps up, it's going to trouble a lot of teams in terms of the way South set up, in terms of blunting any opposition attacks. They've definitely left themselves in a really good spot to do that as Sete comes in.
Sete now. Trajanowski turns one way, then the other. Still, the pressure continues from behind him, with Adams clearing that one away. Ruthven, dummy by Leah. Archibald getting further forward. Norton coming forward to apply the pressure. Archibald couldn't slide that one through to Burt Gilroy, but Altona will win the free kick. So certainly innovative play by Esteban Quintas' side tonight. He's added the likes of Liram Almazi. Didn't start last week, bringing him in to screen the back four, which allows Marko Jankovic to play as an attack-minded central defender. Can we call him that?
Yeah, I think an old school libero type, I think you could call him. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that just pretty much sums it up from Altona just right there. Just haven't made enough of their set-piece opportunities, haven't been able to really find that opening. And you have to give credit to the way Quintas has sent out his team tonight, has blunted Altona to the point where they just can't get a shot on target, can't get anything away here at the moment against them. It is definitely sustainable. I think as a structure, I think it is very sustainable. But again, when you fall back early on in the game, if you fall behind, you wouldn't want to do that in this south side. I think I think the plan has to be just try to get in front early, maintain a lead. I think there's definitely a structure there. Of course, that's going to trouble a lot of teams. Mentioned, see how they go. Of course, the FFA Cup, I think, very, very shortly, I think, for next weekend across for these sides. Of course, a bit of a pause in NPL action for Easter, but of course, midweek action, which we would love you to tune into. Of course, we'll be bringing that to you across our Facebook and YouTube platform, so please keep note of that.
As Ruthven takes the free kick quickly. Burt Gilroy, can he get a good cross in? Aimed at Markovski, but it's away by that man again, Jankovic. And Burt Gilroy is having a tussle there with Bates, and the throw-in goes the way of South Melbourne. As Katie was saying, a busy period coming up for these sides. Midweek football this Wednesday night. South Melbourne are at home to Dandenong Thunder. And then they will travel to the Grange Reserve in Hoppers Crossing, where they will play Werribee City in an FFA Cup tie on the Easter weekend. And that's followed by, on the 9th of April, a fixture against Green Gully at Green Gully Reserve. For Altona Magic, they will face Green Gully here this Wednesday night. And then it's a trip to Ballarat. So Altona Magic on the road to Ballarat to face Ballarat City in the FFA Cup over Easter weekend. And then it's a trip to Dandenong City. Or should I say they'll make the trip here? But that's full time. That is the end of this fixture here. Well, we thought there might have been a bit of a new coach pop and fears about Altona Magic. It hasn't gone that way, as South Melbourne have come here and they've shown that they're capable of playing free-scoring football for the first time this season. 4 goals, well put away. Marko Jankovic is the unanimous man of the match from our commentary team. Goals tonight, 2 for him, 1 from the spot by Jerry Salados. Instantly, that penalty was won by Marko Jankovic, and the other goal by Daniel Clark. For the Magic, it was the solitary goal, which was the deflected shot by Anthony Burke-Gilroy that went in off Liram Almazi. The score was 1-1. Well, we thought anything could happen, and in the end, well, we don't think many people saw this. South Melbourne, 4 goals. Final thoughts from you, Katie Lambeski.
Yeah, very well played by South Melbourne. A professional performance away on the road. A very, very handy few points here for them as they head into a very busy period. Marko Jankovic, just fantastic, just outstanding. Obviously, the pick of the bunch tonight. Such a key off-season recruit made by South Melbourne, and you can see why he was so highly valued, of course, by Quintas and the staff here at South Melbourne. So back to the drawing board for Altona. You'd have to think slightly, just in terms of how they go about their coaching position that's currently available at this point. We'll see how things go. Plenty to work on for them, I think, but they'll definitely be desperate to get some attacking options back, of course, in the form of McShane, Ristich. And there's definitely something to build on, I think, for both sides, but very well-deserved result for South Melbourne. And I do thank everyone for tuning in tonight, and good to be with you as always, Steve. Thank you.
Thanks, Katie. A pleasure to be commentating with you again for the second time this season and around the grounds again. Now that this one's finished, you can flick over to watch the other NPL action that's going on in the 73rd minute at Dandenong Thunder. It's 1-1 between the Thunder and Port Melbourne Sharks. Meanwhile, at half-time at ABD Stadium, it's Hume City 0, Bentley Greens 0. So a couple of exciting fixtures for you to follow this game into right now. But at the moment, it's innovative football from South Melbourne and their coach Esteban Quintas, and a 5-star performance from Marko Jankovic that sees South Melbourne taking home all 3 points from Paisley Park at full time here. It's Altona 1, South Melbourne 4 from Steve Curtin and Katie Lambeski. It's good night from Paisley Park.